far, so good. I've got a clean visual.
A direct feed to your optic now. Yes, I should hope so, huh? I mean, how does it feel? To fly like a bird?
Like a bird strapped to a remote control rocket.
We will get you in safely, Tovarich. Just relax and enjoy the ride.
Right.
Can you hear me, Raiko?
Doctor.
Remember the two procedures to maintain your new body. 1. Seizing nano repair units from your foes. And 2.
Absorbing their electrolytes. I got it.
Yes, enemy cyborgs should provide plenty of MCFC electrolytes once you slice them open and extract their fluids.
They're terrorists. I was planning on that anyway.
Oh, and their left hands, if you please.
Excuse me?
The combat data stored on holographic memory, typically located in the left hand. That data is very valuable. I am authorized to offer you upgrades and services in exchange for it.
How generous.
Ich liebe Kapitalismus. Had the wall come down a few years earlier, I would have a Nobel Prize on my shelf.
There, I see land.
3 mics out and closing. No activity at the airbase. Looks like we don't need to worry about interceptors.
Great. Then we have time for a quick briefing.
I know you miss me, Kev, but I've been all over the materials.
That's what you said before Montenegro. Look, just humor me, buddy. Objectives, of course, are enter Abkhazia, neutralize the terrorists, and restore the rightful government, or what's left of it anyway. The president and most of the cabinet have been killed, and a military junta's been established. The terrorists brain-jacked all the high-ranking officers, and their cyborgs scattered the rank and file. The few leaders who have survived have no way of openly opposing the new regime. That's why they called us.
Andrei Dolzaev, leader of the occupation forces, an extremist linked to both the St. Petersburg massacre of 2015 and last year's terror spree in Georgia. And his arms supplier, none other than Desperado Enforcement, LLC.
Imani's killers.
If we don't stop them here, they could destabilize the entire region. But our more immediate problem is Jetstream Sam. I believe you've met.
The only problem I see is that nickname.
I've got my enhancements this time. He won't be an issue.
He may not even be in country, but keep an eye out just in...
Oh, sorry.
Ready for insertion.
Raiden, you landed safely, da? First, head inland. The waypoint is marked on your Soliton radar. Contact us on Codec if you have questions.
Control, it's Raiden. I'm on the ground.
Copy, Raiden. Glad to hear it. Entering on foot was the right move. That craft isn't equipped with stealth camo. Or octo camo, obviously, since that would be useless in midair.
And we wouldn't want to get your pricey new jet damaged, now would we?
Duh. The MQ-133C was not cheap, Tovarich. Now, keep alert. According to intel, you could find significant cyborg deployment here. If you were to be cornered by an entire squad, it might get difficult, even for you.
Understood. Some fighting will be necessary, though. I've got electrolytes to replenish.
This is not an infiltration mission. There is no need to hide or avoid combat outright, huh? Just do not get reckless. Stay safe and stay focused on your mission.
I bet, like, Powerade was just killing themselves for not getting a sponsorship in this.
So we have a new bar.
Non-branded electrolytes.
Below that health bar. That's the electrolyte bar. So when it's full and blue, when you go into blade mode, you automatically get slow motion, cut dudes in half. When it's not full, it's yellow, and going to blade mode won't give you that slow motion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. However, there is a way... Well, like in the first video, you saw I was getting slow motion from certain attacks.
Uh-huh.
That slow motion is better than the normal slow motion you get when your bar is full. The slow motion you get there, it slows time down by 50%. If you do an attack...
tiers of slow motion, you're saying.
Yeah.
Anyhow, this list looks important.
Yeah, in the start menu, there's a menu that just says, help! That's the move list. It probably should have been called move list, because there's lots of people confused. Where's the move list? It's the help button. Yeah, but if you do one of those attacks that slows down time is slowed down by 90% instead of just 50. So here's how the basic combos in the game work. You've already seen that we have that 4-hit strong combo, the one where you can extend the length of the final kick by rapidly tapping the button. Well, there are also combos you get by alternating between strong and light attacks. All of these basic combos begin with at least one strong attack, then you alternate to a light attack, and then back to a strong attack for a finishing move. You can do this anywhere within the first 3 hits of the 4-hit strong combo, so you can either have strong, light, strong, 2 strongs, a light, and a strong, or 3 strongs, a light, and a strong. Lots of stuff to cut in the game, like this bridge. Cut the supports, falls apart.
Yeah, you're supposed to be rebuilding this country.
Well, I gotta practice. Gotta practice on something. Well, I mean, you could cut the rock in half, but the game doesn't want you to. The other attacks I haven't shown off yet. You got midair, it's 5 hits, or if you're midair and do a heavy, you do one attack that can knock people to the ground, and then another where you fall on top of people. And that's what we got right now.
That's handy. You know, any excuse to look at that shapely bum, and I'm good.
Also, we got a cat over here.
Raiden, why are you just practicing on the beach? We talked about this, Raiden.
But Boris... the invincibility frames in my attacks. I gotta check them out. You can also move around in blade mode.
Oh, that's handy.
You never have to use this ever, really. It's just there for the hell of it. Because normally, like, the right stick, unless you change the controls or something, right stick is the angle of your cut. Left stick just lets you move the camera around and, like, aim to left and right. But if you click down on the left stick and move it around, you get to walk around. Also, you can see this game deletes physics objects pretty fast. It's kind of what this game just has to do when you can make millions of physics objects at any moment.
After you cut them, you can't cut them again. They're already cut. What's the point?
But it won't do any good against a state-of-the-art cyborg like you, eh?
So that parry right there was the parry counter. And you can see it dizzies people when you hit them with it. But let's say if you take some damage, like in the prologue, like every dude dropped a health unit. That's not the case in the main game. Instead, you need to chop dudes in half, because cyborgs have self-repair units inside of them. So like, that red box, you chop through it, and then you tear their spine out and get the delicious cyborg Gatorade.
Yeah, you do. But let's see that from another angle.
Whoa! Every time you tear a spine out, it fully restores your health in blade mode. It sounds like it's really overpowered at first, but the problem is, like these dudes, at any moment you can cut them in half. Most enemies are not like this. These dudes are the weakest dudes in the game.
And they could still take you out if, like, you were fiddling and fumbling.
Yeah. Also, that button combination, that's to do execution moves. Lets you kill them, and also sets them up for a really easy move where you pull out their spine. And the move when you pull out their spine, that's the zandatsu move. Zandatsu is like a made-up Japanese word that means cut and take. Also, parry counter has a huge range. You can stun all 3 guys. Also, if multiple spines are exposed, you can pull them all out.
That's the way to do it.
Getting extra spines doesn't do like extra healing or anything, it just gets you more points.
Had your fill?
With this body, I could take these guys with no eyes. Intel wasn't exaggerating on the cyborg count.
Well, you know how fast the tech's been spreading these last few years. That CNT muscle fiber packs the power of a jackhammer into every limb. What enterprising soldier of fortune could resist? And cyborgs are still human. Real thinking people. Way less risk of collateral damage than your typical UAV strike.
And don't forget the PR angle. Nations start playing Frankenstein with their troops, and the public goes nuts. PMCs, on the other hand, are off the ethical radar.
Yeah, they still don't even count PMCs in official death tolls. With SOP out of the picture, private militaries needed a new edge on the market. We got it.
In a way, cyborgs are just SOP troops by another name. Only all muscled up and less predictable.
But it makes you wonder, where'd Desperado find these guys?
I'm not complaining. They're like walking vending machines.
Right. Vending machines full of blood. Easy there, Dracula. Like I said, they're still people.
People who terrorize and take innocent lives for money. They sowed their fate when they took this job. I'm just the Reaper.
Damn. It's a bit cold, Raiden. Even for you. Anyway, his school. Let's get to work. Time to increase the peace.
Right.
I insisted I get this eye patch headband thing. Because I'm cool.
So now we're getting ranked by a whole bunch of things. Like, there's still time, there's still that bonus for getting no damage. But there's also BP, which is how much money you got during the fight. You can get extra money by, like, cutting them up more. Like, the more pieces you cut a dude into, the more money you get.
I noticed it looked like you were getting some piddly amounts of BP just for going into quick blade mode and chopping stuff.
Yep. Like, you can see on the right, when I'm just chopping stuff up, it's just, like, showing how many... Like, it tells you how many parts you've chopped things into and all that. That factors into how much money you get for killing an enemy. Also, you can get extra BP by cutting off certain parts of an enemy. Like, taking off a leg gets you 50 BP, a right arm.
Yeah.
And, like, Doctor was talking about, like, he needs left hands. Like, some enemies, their left hands are special. We'll see that later. But just... chopping off a left hand gets you 100 BP.
Nice.
As opposed to the other parts that only get you 50. Also, the car is like one of the models in the game that just does not want to be cut. It's like too complicated or something. I mean, it is in 171 parts. Yeah, but even just cutting up these random objects, you get a little bit of money.
Now this all, I guess we should mention this part now, ever since we got to the beach, was the demo?
Yep.
Have they changed anything from the demo since the demo?
A little bit, yeah. You'll see.
Raiden, this is Boris. Give me your status.
Looks clear. No one in sight.
Good. Let's recap the route you will take. As I said, the enemy's HQ is in the refinery along the coastline. Dolsaev has been spotted there using satellite photography. Also on site, Mistral, a Desperado captain.
So I go through the city, cross the bridge into the old town, then head down to the rear of the refinery.
Still, I think they anticipate us. They will probably have a grand reception awaiting you at the old city. Do not let your guard down.
Even for cake, Raiden. Do not trust the cake.
Why?
It is not Stripper inside, it is Jetstream Sam! He's also Stripper, he has side job.
Wow, economy's tough these days. So those orange chests you can chop open to get items. Picked up a repair nano paste. Works just like rations in Metal Gear. If they're equipped and you run out of health, it automatically heals you.
Cool.
On the top left, you can see that little cross. It says how many nano pastes we've got.
Uh-huh. Are they flavorful? Are they at all delicious?
I don't know. It's just like a little disc, so I'm not exactly sure how they work.
It's either ingested or a topical applicant.
Yeah, I'm assuming the reason...
Like, it's the turtle wax of the future, basically.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's like it just applies itself automatically, because like Ryan gets really hurt, and it just like breaks a thing, and then it just kind of leaks all over him, and he's like, I'm good again!
No. But okay.
Also on top of the chandelier is another hard drive.
You know, I think I'd probably find that one. Because I'd be trying really hard to jump on the chandelier just to see if I could.
Yeah, and also cut in half.
Yes.
The temptation to cut a chandelier in half is just too high.
That is the first one I would have found if I was playing this game.
Yep, that was also the first one I found. And there's other things you can pick up from chests other than, like, healing items and all that. There's these cubes, and they're money cubes.
Well, yeah, that's why they're locked up. What are you thinking?
There are small, medium, and large cubes. Small are 300 BP, medium 500, and then there are two different versions of large, either 2,000 or 5,000 points.
From behind.
Gotta grab this nano paste. Also, you can only carry 5 nano paste, but if you pick up extras, you get extra money.
You get BP, yeah.
Yeah, you get 100 for each extra thing you pick up. Also, stealth kills in this game.
Yes!
Check this one out.
Okay, I'm glad I did. Oh!
I love that he has to spin around 1,000 times in the air.
Look, there's no point in being a cyborg ninja if you can't have a little fun.
Alright.
Raiden, take that main thoroughfare. You can use augment mode to see where the enemy is located. Your body analyzes radar and IR data to construct your AR display. Some civilians are still in the city. That is not good.
Didn't they know about the cheap airfare?
It was really tempting.
I mean, there is this grand festival 2 nations away. They could be having great fun at the resort. These people. Why do they build their city below sea level? Why?
I don't know, Boris, but I've got a grenade. So that, like, color overlay you saw, that's AR mode. You just press up on the D-pad.
Blue is cuttable, and red is bad guy.
Yep, pretty much. Also highlights items you can pick up and stuff. Some collectibles, but there's some that won't be highlighted. Yeah, we just got grenades. They work like all grenades in all video games. Hold down L2 to aim, then you could R1 to throw it. But we don't want to throw it, because those guards are not aware of us. And when they're not aware, you can do really easy stealth kills, get lots of extra money. Also, there's that civilian down there, and we want to rescue him.
Well, yeah.
Off of the head!
Go for the left arm!
Yep, see, I got it. 100 points.
Nice.
Also, you just get 100 points if you just chop up the dude, like the whole dude, into enough pieces. You don't even have to aim for anything, just chop him up into enough pieces to get 100 points. So there is some mild stealth. It's entirely optional, you don't need to do it. You just want to do it like your first playthrough, because there's some times in this game where there'll be lots of hard enemies.
Uh-huh. And you'll want to thin them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, stealth is entirely optional. There's no real punishment for being caught, except with these civilians. If these 2 guys become aware of you, they'll kill the civilian. And that guy's on the edge. Got him.
Nice. Oh, you got him in the head.
Yeah.
He is scared to death, Raiden. Let him know he is safe.
Give him a pat on the back.
I mean, he did just see you eat that man's spine.
Thank you.
I would imagine you won't. Children, did I ever tell you the time the scary robot man ate spines?
Yes, Raiden. Хорошо. That's one less death today. Now, on with the mission.
Ooh, nice work, buddy. In the nick of time, huh?
Think there's any more of them here, Kev?
Doubt it. It was all-out war over at the palace. Once the evacuation order was issued, everyone should have fled to neighboring towns. Some of the cabinet were caught leaving Sukumi, though, and a lot of citizens got caught up in the crossfire. Some folks probably stayed put. Figured it's too dangerous to do anything else right now.
Bad situation.
Let's not let it get worse. Keep an eye out for more of them. If they're in a pinch, try and help out. Just make sure you don't hurt them.
Got it.
Raiden, did you...
Yeah. Good thing I got here when I did.
I'm, impressed, Raiden.
Thanks. Now if you'll excuse me.
Huh? Oh, right. The mission.
In a few updates, you will see what happens if you attack a civilian that you've rescued. So yeah, when you rescue civilians, you get extra money. For saving that guy, I got an extra 3,000.
Nice.
So it's worth to save them, but you don't have to. There aren't too many of them.
It's like picking up 35 health things.
Wow. And there's a medium here, and that's just 500 points. Not all civilians are worth the same amount. They're usually at least 1,000. I think 3,000 the max you'll ever see rescuing a civilian.
Kev, let's go over everything we have on Desperado.
Roger that. Let's see here. Desperado Enforcement, LLC. Registered in the U.S., Delaware.
Makes sense. The U.S. doesn't regulate PMCs too closely.
Looks like almost all of their actual business is handled outside the States, though. Says here their financials are handled by a separate company based in St. Kitts and Nevis.
The preferred tax haven of megacorps everywhere.
Probably why they incorporated in Delaware in the first place. Loose tax laws. Funneling it all through the Caribbean must help with the money laundering, though. There's still a lot we don't know about them, but they've definitely been starting a lot of fires lately. They're a PMC in name only. What a name it is. Guess War Profiteers Incorporated was taken. But that's their business. In a nutshell, target war-torn nations on the road to peace. Reignite conflicts, and walk off with all the cash that was earmarked for reconstruction. They also have ties to the drug trade, human trafficking.
Sounds like a real class act.
We've confirmed 3 key captains in Desperado. Their code names are all wind-themed. The captain presiding over this coup is called Mistral.
Cyborg?
Yep. All 3 have got custom-made bodies. Collectively, they're known as the Winds of Destruction.
The what? They all have action figures too?
You're one to talk, Mr. Lightning Bolt.
Who told you?
Courtney. Now that sounds like an action figure.
I didn't choose it, trust me.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I doubt the Winds of Destruction picked their names either. Different cultures use language differently. Even ones with a decent command of English. As you can attest, Mr. LB.
How we doing, Courtney?
You're looking good on our end. GPS and audio-visual feed coming in fine. Energy consumption? Check. Damage levels? Check. Blood pressure, brain waves, blood sugar? Check, check, check. All this monitoring equipment, I got a better view than if I was standing right next to you. Anyway, I'll be saving all your data automatically anytime something important happens in the field. But contact me anytime you want a manual save.
Copy that. Good to hear that hasn't changed with this new body.
Yep, the basic system's exactly the same. So, did you want to save? And save complete. Simple, huh?
Copy. And glad to hear you're okay after Africa. That ambush was no joke.
Tell me about it. 3 armored vehicles should have been plenty for that job. And it would have been against any typical guerrilla force.
I keep asking myself, where would an anti-Imani faction get the cash to hire cyborgs?
It just doesn't add up. Maybe there's some intel I missed. A lead I should have followed up on. Maybe if I reacted faster or coordinated better. I don't know.
You can't think that way, Courtney. Not in this business. You did everything you could. Put it behind you and move on.
You're right. Thanks.